Today we're practicing reading words ending in two L's, a CK, or two S's. Let's review our short vowel sounds. If you don't know all these, you aren't ready for this lesson. A, E, I, ah, E, a, I, ah, a. Whether you have one L or two L's, it's still the same sound of ul. So here we have ill, ill, fill, ill, bill, l, sell, l, tell, ill, hill, ill, kill, sill, ull, cull, mill, ill, skill, ill, spill, ill, still, bell, ill, will, fell, yell, well, dull, cull, ill, dill, ill, pill, uphill, ill, skillet. A C and a K together has the sound of k. Sick, sock, sack, back, dock, deck, duck, jack. Jack is a name. That's why it has a capital letter. Ick, kick, lock, luck, lick, peck, neck, pack, rick. Rick is a name, so it has a capital letter. Ick, pick, sick, rock, rack, ick, tick, ick, stick, black, crack, flock. Remember that Q and U together have the sound of qu, which sounds like a K followed by a W. Quick, quack, slack, smack, snack, slick, trick, stock, truck. While the letter S sometimes has a second sound of Z, when you see two S's at the end of a word, it will always have the sound of S. So here we have boss, fuss, hiss, jess. Jess is a name, so it has a capital letter. Kiss, ass, pass, moss, less, toss, mass, loss, bless, bliss, floss, press, ass, brass, ass, glass, cross, ass, class, ass, grass. Let's practice all of these sounds together. Ass, class, duck, ill, pill, doll, loss, ruck, smell, sock, pick, lock, ass, brass, kiss. We can easily read longer words if we recognize the suffixes at the end of them. For example, this is the suffix "ly." This line here indicates that it comes at the end of the word. And this is the suffix "ing." So right here, we have smell. We can add the suffix "ly" and we have smelly. Notice that when we add the suffix "ly," we do not have 3 L's in a row. We only have 2. One of the L's gets dropped. We can also add the suffix "ing" to get smelling. Here we have sick, sickly. Here's the suffix "less." So we have endless, endless. We can take that word and add "ly," and now we get endlessly. Just like we can add suffixes to our root word, we can add prefixes. Pre means before, so a prefix goes at the beginning of a word. I've marked all the prefixes and suffixes in blue. Here we have our root word of press. We can add the suffix "ing and we get pressing. Here's the prefix "x." So we have express. We can attach prefixes and suffixes to the same root, and we get expressing. Here we have expressly. Here we have the prefix "re." This line under the E indicates that it's a long E sound. So we have repress, repressing. Although you would think this I has a long I sound because of the E, if you have IVE at the end of a longer word, not a short word, but a longer word, the I is usually going to have a short I sound. We do not end English words in the letter V, so we stick an E at the end to keep V from being the last letter. So this suffix is "iv." And here we have the prefix "re," repressive. Here's the prefix "im," impress, impressive. Here's the prefix "com," compress. Here are some more. We have lock, locking, unlocking. ER says locker, block, blocking. Here's again, blocker, fill, filling, refill. CH says ch most of the time. It has 2 other sounds, but ch is the one you should try first. Ch, ill, chill, chilling, chilly. QU says qu, so we have quick, quickly. ER says quicker. Here's the prefix X. This C is going to say S because of the E. Excess. Here's our suffix iv again. Excessive, excessively. Here are some nonsense words. These are fake words. The reason we practice nonsense words is to make sure we actually know how to pronounce the sounds and that we aren't guessing because we think we recognize a word. Yak, os, goss, mel, lek, liss, wuck, zill, vic, os, cos, weck, ris, tech. Here's the suffix "ly" again, and "ing." We can add these to our nonsense words. Gliss, glissly, glissing, dreck, dreckly, drecking, krell, krelly. Notice that we do not have 3 L's in a row. When we add the suffix "ly" to a word ending with 2 L's, one of them gets dropped, so we only have 2. Krelling. If you found this useful, please subscribe and then share it with others on X, Facebook, and WhatsApp.